Why do men get so few matches on dating apps? Today we're going to deep dive into this video thanks to Love Made Logical about the data that shows how men experience online dating. And I'm going to add my commentary as a social skills coach so you fully understand what's going on if you're a guy who's using online dating apps.
In 2025, online dating is the most common way couples meet, with over 60% of new couples meeting through it. Yet somehow, the average man is getting less than a single match per day on Tinder. With meeting in person dying and more women than ever on dating apps, how is it that most men don't get any matches?
Now, this video was made 4 months ago. I'm very familiar with this graph. It kind of tracked it into 2021 at the height of COVID. Since then, in-person meetings have gone up a little bit, but online dating has gone down a little bit, but it still remains really, really high, over 50%.
Do women really just not like the average man? Or is there something else going on here? It's kind of a sausage fest, with 2 men to 1 woman being the standard.
This is correct. So on all of the dating apps, except for the lesbian and the gay dating apps, men outnumber women on Tinder 3 to 1 and on Hinge and Bumble at least 2 to 1. So you're competing with a lot of guys, and not only that, you'll see soon that women also get a lot more matches and messages than men.
Inherently making matches plentiful for women and sparse for men. On Hinge, 60% of all likes go to the top 10% of profiles on the app, and only a staggering 4.3% of all likes go to the bottom 50%.
Are you kidding? That's unfair!
If you're in the bottom 50%, it's not worth it to use dating apps. You gotta get above the top 20 to 30% to have dating apps actually be working for you. Anything below that is a bad ROI.
So, for the first experiment, I used my girlfriend to create a Tinder profile as a woman and waited for 100 likes to come in, which took about 30 minutes.
Could you make me a woman?
I then bought Tinder Gold, which let me see the guys that had liked the profile, and then got her to sort them into 6 categories. 1. Most girls I know would swipe. 2. Some girls I know might swipe. 3. No one's swiping, bad photos. 4. No one swiping needs to fix his appearance, weight, hair, skin, etc. 5. No one swiping needs to fix both. 6. No one swiping, period.
Okay, this is a very, very well thought out experiment. Category 1 is basically guy who's already extremely good looking or extremely well put together in their profile that gets matches. Category 2 are the guys that are not extremely good looking or their profile is okay, it's not at the top 20%, but they're getting some matches. Category 3 are good looking guys that have potential, but they have bad photos. Category 4, something's wrong with their look. Their style's off, their teeth is off, their hair is off. And category 5 is not only is your style and your grooming off, but you also have really bad photos. And then category 6 is genetically, you're just not gonna be able to do it. You know, you have some really bad looking face, etc. This is a really good experiment.
I'm sure you noticed something strange. There's only 5 categories here. That's because no one who needed to fix their appearance already had good photos. Kind of interesting. Unsurprisingly, only 22 of the 100 profiles fell into categories 1 and 2, 20% of guys getting 80% of the matches.
Very interesting, right? 20% of the guys that match with his girlfriend would be categorized as good matches. The other 80%, no matches.
But what was surprising to me was how many guys just had bad photos.
Okay, this is very, very interesting. So of all the guys that match with his girlfriend, okay, he had her rate these guys. Basically, she said over half of the guys just had bad photos. About 1/4 of the guys not only had bad photos, but they didn't have the genetics. And then she said about 22% were getting matches. They had good photos and or good genetics. This is quite interesting. If you just look at this pie chart alone, it basically supports what I've been telling you guys, right? Most guys in general can fix their photos or fix their looks or both to get into that top 30%.
Over 50% of guys had good enough looks to get matches, but just the lowest effort photos you could take. Selfies, group photos where you can't tell who's who, just weird angles, and a surprising amount of memes. Anyways, 22% of guys needed to work on their appearance and get photos, improving appearance being primarily losing weight and managing hair loss. And only 2% of guys were, in her opinion, unattractive enough that they would likely need to do some extreme measures to get matches. Personally, I had 3 big takeaways from this experiment. One was how little effort men put into their dating app profiles. The vast majority of profiles look like dudes just picked the first 6 photos of themselves.
Correct, yeah. Look at these guys. They're just like taking selfies in front of a bathroom. It's super low effort.
2 was how little men understand about what women are looking for on dating apps. When swiping on a dating app, most women just want to know if they're physically attracted to you and if you live a lifestyle they would be interested in joining. Same things they've always looked for. So, photos where she can't tell it's you, or what you look like, or you look your worst in them are seriously hurting your chances at matching. And photos that don't indicate you live a nice lifestyle are doing the same thing. The secret sauce to a good dating app profile is every photo shows you looking your best, living a nice lifestyle.
Correct. You can even take out the lifestyle part if you just have great photos with a great background, okay? The lifestyle is the additional bonus that they get once they see that you can take great photos and then you're a decently looking guy and you can dress up and clean up well.
And it was very surprising how little men, like 4%, understood this. And 3 was none of the 100 guys were just Giga Chad models with some selfies. The top 4% of profiles, the guys that in her opinion most women would swipe on, were pretty regular S&P maxed guys with good photos. The Giga Chads you see online obviously do kill it on dating apps, but they are way rarer than the top 1%.
Yeah, Giga Chads are usually like 1 out of 100. You see this in the modeling industry too. Like when you go to a model casting, probably every 100 person in line going in that casting or submitting photos online, 1 out of 100 might have a shot at like a modeling career. So Giga Chads are extremely rare. And when they do show up on dating apps, let's face it, it's good for them because they're in the top. They get a lot of matches and they get a lot of hookups because 80% of the women match with them, okay, based on the data.
The top 5 to 10% of guys on dating apps, the guys getting most of the matches, are for the most part regularish guys with maxed out appearances. And
this is an important point. So what his girlfriend maybe she was a little nicer, right? So she categorized that 4% of the guys that matched with her are Giga Chads, okay? Some of them were okay profiles, but the majority of them were just like really bad profiles. So basically, if you're a regular guy, you're really only competing with that 4%. And this 15% right here, you're trying to get into the top 20 to 30% where you're better than most of the profiles based on your style, long-term genetics or long-term looks, working out, skincare routine, hairstyle, and then learning how to take great photos. Just those things alone, if you focus on them for a few months, you can actually outcompete most people online because so few guys do it correctly, either because they're lazy or they don't have the right tools.
He's low body fat, he has a solid haircut for his hair type and level of hair loss, and he has clear skin thanks to taking the right actions. And I believe if these factors weren't in check, his looks would be a little below average. But with them in check, he's a little above average. Profile number 1, the standard guy profile, aka bad profile.
Okay, so this guy does another great experiment. He takes this one guy and he makes 3 or 4 profiles. And the first profile he makes is what he considers a bad profile. So this profile has random pictures, badly taken pictures, low quality pictures with this profile pic. In the second experiment profile, he has the exact same profile, but on the second photo, he puts like a shirtless pic of him super in shape. Bad profile with good physique.
Number 3, a profile with optimized photos.
In the third profile, he takes out the physique. He just has an optimized profile. But what he means by optimized, which is, relatively good picture, doing different things, walking a dog, playing the guitar with friends, basically showing some type of personality or lifestyle from this, most would argue, slightly above average guy. Then he added profile number 4, which is similar to the optimized profile, except now you have a physique. Okay, this guy's got a good body, but the rest of the photos show additional optimization based on having a life, having a dog, playing the guitar, doing different things in their life. Okay, now you do have to keep in mind that the biggest problem with this experiment I see is that your main profile pic pretty much determines like whether someone swipes on you or not. And these profile 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 have different profile pics, right? This one versus this one. I would argue that the Starbucks one is way better than this one right here, which is way too close up in your face and the hairstyle is just way too big. Let's see the results. Which one do you think will get the most matches?
8 hours each from Wednesday to Friday, using a boost at 12 p.m. on the second day.
Pro tip, so you can use Boost if you have an upgrade to your dating app. My friend came up with this hack. He would set travel mode to a particular city. He would use the Boost function every day at the same time, between 7 to 9 peak hours for dating apps. And he would test how many matches he gets in that city and how many of those matches are his type of girls. And he has a whole spreadsheet from these boosts, and he found the cities where he got the most matches with the highest quality women, okay? I actually have access to that spreadsheet. If you want, I'll share it with you. Just join our school community. The link is below.
To see how many messages he received, and the profiles, and waited another 48 hours. After the 48 hours were up, I liked all the profiles and waited another 48 hours to see how many messages he received, and then tracked all the data. The 18x multiplier. The next question is how much of this massive improvement in profile success can be attributed to the good physique versus the better photos? Well, profile number 2, the bad photos good physique one, received 55 likes across the 48 hours, 7.8 times the bad profile.
Okay, that's interesting. Profile 1 got really bad returns. Profile with good physique got okay returns, but optimized profile with physique got double the matches of this one. Okay, very interesting. So your physique does matter, but not as much as you think.
Profile number 3, the great photos no physique one, received 44 likes across the 48 hours, 6.3 times the standard profile. Meaning, in this experiment, having a good physique was shown to be about 25% more impactful than great photos, but both made a massive difference to the overall.
I don't think there's a fair comparison because profile 2 and profile 3, if you recall, had different main profile pictures. The main profile picture is what determines the swipe, so I don't think this particular conclusion is accurate.
Amount of attention received, especially when you do both.
But this is very clear, okay? If you have photos that show different parts of your life, the girls can understand what we call a storyline. I get this guy's story. Oh, he's a writer. Oh, he's an animal lover. I get what this guy's about. And that creates an imprint in her mind of what type of person this might be. But if you just have like okay photos and you don't have a lifestyle, she doesn't know who you are. Now, if you're hot, or if you present well, or if you dress well, if you don't have the physique, and you show different parts of your life with a dog, doing things with your friends, that is exponential to the number of likes that you get, okay? Now, what's interesting now, he's gonna show how many of those profiles got messages within 48 hours. This is really interesting. Watch.
All likes aren't created equal. Some people are better looking than others. I additionally decided to place the attractiveness of the women who liked the profiles into 3 tiers. High would stand out in a group as particularly attractive. Medium, most men would be happy to date but doesn't particularly stand out. And low.
Every guy does this subconsciously, okay? So we have the top tier matches, the medium, and the low. Now with online dating, the top tier girls are usually extremely competitive. Most guys, to be honest with you, even me, will not get top tier girls unless you're in a very favorable market or if you were in the top 5% chat territory. The majority of men who do online dating are gonna get around here, medium and occasional high, if your profile is super optimized. And most guys will probably get a lot of mediums, okay? That's why with cold approach pickup, you can get high consistently if you find the right location and you have the right skills like I do, you can consistently get high. But with online dating, it's usually here. That's why online dating is never a long-term win strategy, in my opinion, for most markets. And that's why in our school community, I teach you how to talk to girls and how to approach them and how to interact with models so you don't get nervous around girls who look like that in real life. These girls online, you're competing with like thousands of guys, okay? But these girls at a bar, you're probably competing with 2 guys trying to work up the courage to talk to her. So that's why with cold approach, if you want these type of girls, you're gonna have a competitive advantage wherever you go if you know how to do that.
The profiles essentially all receive the same percentages from each attractiveness tier, with one exception. The bad profile, profile number 1, had 85% of its likes coming from the bottom tier.
Okay, this is very interesting. If your profile sucks, you're gonna think all the girls in your town are ugly because all you're getting are ugly matches. And this is why guys give up. When your brain sees cute girls, at least you're getting the dopamine hits and you're thinking, okay, there's a chance that I can reach for something higher. When all your matches look like that, you just start giving up because you're like, you know what, they're not even there. And they're tricking your brain into thinking, there are no cute girls in my city, it's never gonna happen.
And 0% from the top, standing out from the other 3, which all received approximately 10% high, 50% medium, 40% low.
So this distribution is same for all the guys, okay? And I'm gonna tell you, I have Chad clients and they tell me the similar distribution. In Taiwan, I would be considered like a high 8, right? I don't have a lot of competition in Taiwan. Even my distribution for highs is about 10%. Simply because those girls get too many matches, man. They have so many messages and they're not usually online. And when they are online, they're only online for a bit to pick the right guys and then they go offline again. The majority of the girls you'll be dating when you do online dating is here between high and medium if you're going after looks. Okay. Now, if you're going after like a girlfriend or marriage, you're going to read this, you're going to read their profiles carefully, and you're going to talk to a lot of them. But the majority of dating is done here based on your maximum capabilities.
It's worth keeping in mind, everyone has their types though. So realistically, you watching this would probably, from a purely looks perspective, be happy to date 25 to 45% of the women who swiped on the more successful profiles, depending on how picky you are. As far as the messages that came in, women who message first are generally willing to go out with you if you seem normal and have a good converting text funnel. The results weren't too different from the likes received. The two main differences between the likes results and the message results were none of the high-tier women messaged first.
Correct. High tier women have too much going on. If you're ever in doubt, find your favorite girl and create a profile for her, or just if you have any female model friends. I had to convince one of mine to make a Tinder profile and she did, and she's like, well, I have like 500 matches in a day, and she's like, I can't handle this. This is too much for me. So high tier girls don't message guys. They just don't have time. It just doesn't happen. Do not count on that. The majority of the messages that they're getting, interestingly, from the good physique, right? Because that prompts the buying temperature, like, oh, he's hot. I want to like meet him and sleep with him. There's that. Women have testosterone too, and they do get horny. Those are the messages that they get, mostly from medium tier girls. When you're a chat, or if you present really well profiled, when you message the high tier girls, sometimes they'll reply. But it's a very hit and miss game, because it's kind of like you're in her spam folder and you're hoping that she replies back. And once you get her attention, you can slowly convert her through the funnel. But it's a high stakes game because your margin of error is so low. Whereas like in a Hollywood bar, if you go to the right one, if you know where to go, like we did, you can talk to like 10 of those high tier girls within like an hour or two and get like maybe 7 phone numbers. So just a lot more efficient once you have the skill set to do that in real life than to play this game. This is a losing game in my opinion.
And the gap between profile 2 and 3 grew wider. Most guys' biggest reason for struggling on dating apps is bad photos. As someone who's taken Tinder photos for various guys and seen the results they got, I can confirm that simply just upgrading your photos to be maximized to the female gaze will give 60+% of guys enough matches to get at least 1 day per week with dating.
He is correct. Just improving your photos will get most guys a chance to go on a date with a cute girl. If you improve your photos and you start installing what I call long-term beauty improvements, Invisalign, dermatology, growing your hair out, trying a different hairstyle, developing your style sense, all those take a little bit more longer time. Over time, your photos are going to get better and better. You're going to understand how to pose, how to do your facial expressions in front of the camera, and your pictures just get so good that eventually you start getting consistent results. For the majority of guys, I would say for 80% of guys, this is the situation with online dating. There are guys later on who like don't know how to message, or they send really creepy messages, or they don't know how to calibrate, but that's the next step. But in the beginning, this is how you get into the game.
Another 30% need to do some SMV maxing, lose weight, improve skin, hair, teeth.
Correct. If you're in the bottom 40th, 30 to 40th percentile, there's some long-term things you can do. Those take a little longer time, but those are not undoable. Most of you guys can achieve those things within a year, 6 months to a year time frame, just like I did.
And you're not in the bottom 40% of looks, aka the guys who need to Looksmax to get matches, then I have something for you. If you want multiple dates per week.
Okay, so he's saying if you're not in the bottom 40th percent, he can help you optimize your profile, which I get. Okay, so this graph is interesting. So basically, if you're here, you need to do some look maxing, okay? But if you're here, which most of my clients are between here, in the middle, and sometimes here, these guys don't usually get dating coaches. But if you're here, you need to do look maxing. And if you're here, you need to do optimizing, okay? And I absolutely agree. I love his analytical approach to his experiments, and basically all of the data that he showed here, I agree with, and I've been saying for years. His interpretation, there was one point where I kind of disagreed, but for the most part, absolutely on point. This guy's channel is Love Made Logical. Go give him a like, a sub. Really, really great video. And my takeaway from this is the same takeaway you've seen in all my videos. For most guys, have an honest assessment of where you're at, what you look like right now, how people rate you. Then do an honest assessment. Do I need long-term look maxing, or can I just optimize some photos and make this work? If you need some guidance with that, there's some free resources and the links in the description. Better yet, you can join our school community community where we give you a full profile review, assess where your baseline is at, and teach you not only how to do online dating, but go out there and apply a real game where the game is not rigged against you, right? It's not designed to extract money or time from you, where you can go out and actually meet really cute girls once you know what to do. And then online dating just becomes an additional funnel that you can take into your social circle. Make sense? Enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. All of this highlights why it's so important for men to get the right dating advice and avoid the terrible mistakes that could happen to you in your dating life. I know this because I was that guy. And ever since I started this channel, every week I get messages from guys saying, Gio, I'm burned out from dating apps, but what else can I do? Gio, I can't get a date and I don't know how to talk to the girls that I really want. And the girls that like me, I have no interest in. The truth is, men are struggling because there's a massive gap in the dating advice market for men. All of the dating advice is either from people that don't have the field experience or insecure alpha males trying to tell you to be something that you're not. Because of this, most men have no idea where to find advice that actually works and aligns with who they really are. Worse, they get super confused about who to take advice from, and they just end up doing nothing, hoping something will happen, but really they're laying in bed at night looking up at the ceiling and wondering, am I gonna be alone this time next year? All of this honestly bothered me. It bothered me so much that I started asking myself, what if there was a better way? What if there was a coaching system that matched the values that I talk about on this channel? Authenticity, practical results that come quickly, precise advice that works, dating tips that create win-win dynamics between men and women, no manipulation, no misogynistic tactics that blow up in your face later, no getting sued or embarrassed in front of women because you followed bad advice. What if there was a place where learning social and dating skills felt safe, easy, and effective, and there was a repeatable process that you could turn on when you're single and turn off when you're not? A few months ago, I decided to build something I wish I had when I was trying to learn this. I'm talking about my private school community, Social Skills Decoded. Social Skills Decoded is a members-only community where you get elite coaching from me and weekly practice with one of our female models for a fraction of the cost of regular coaching. You see, I built this community for the guys who want a real connection and real results. Inside, you'll get something most men never had. 1. A safe space where you can practice with real-life models, really beautiful women who will give you honest feedback without judgment, women who help you build confidence in a way that feels human. You also get direct coaching from me, an experienced coach with over 15 years of experience, over 34,000 approaches, and successful results with hundreds of private clients. You'll have my trained eye to help you pinpoint precisely what to do at each step of your journey. And maybe the most important part, you'll be part of a community who gets you. You'll befriend guys who want the same thing that you want. A life where dating isn't stressful, draining, or feels like a chore, but a fun, natural connection that's effortless. Every week, we meet live. Every day, I answer your questions in the community. And step by step, we build the version of yourself that women feel attracted to, safe around, and super connected with. Normal access to this level of coaching can cost upwards of $200 an hour or over $1,000 a month. But during our enrollment period, you can try all of this for just $97. Every week, you get live calls with me and access to my new master course, 30 Days to Dating Freedom, a step-by-step system that helps you build a social circle and thriving dating life, even if you're new to a city and you don't know anyone there. You also get an onboarding call and a 90-day action plan and a full style and online dating profile review, so you know exactly what to do to start getting results from online dating and start building your social circle to date high-quality women. We check in regularly with you to make sure you have the resources and tools and the tips you need at every single step to get quick wins and build long-term success with the women that you really want. Because this is a premium coaching service, that price will go up as we get more members. But today, you can join us for a fraction of the cost and stop trying to do this alone. If you're struggling getting numbers, if you're not able to get first dates with the girls you really want, if your first dates are okay but they go nowhere and you never get a second or third date, or maybe if you can't close the deal after a long dry spell, if you feel stuck or unsure of where to go or what to do next, or maybe you just need a kick in the right direction from someone who is legit, check out the link in the description, or you can go to school.com/social skills and we can talk more inside.